My brothers and sisters, have you ever wondered why those who try to live truthfully, who speak with honesty, and who deal with integrity often seem to suffer the most? Why is it that the honest person is overlooked, rejected, or burdened, while those who lie and cheat appear to live with ease? The Qur'an reminds us, do people think they will be left alone because they say, we believe and will not be tested? 29.2. Allah tests the honest believer more because honesty is not just words. It is a heavy amanah, a trust that weighs on the heart. And when you carry truth, you carry what many cannot bear. But don't mistake suffering for punishment. In Islam, the heaviest tests fall on those most loved by Allah. The prophets themselves, the most truthful of all, carried the greatest burdens. Their pain was their honor, their trials were their elevation, and their reward was with Allah alone. So when your honesty makes life harder, remember, Allah sees, Allah knows, and Allah rewards in ways this world cannot. Your burden today is your light tomorrow. 1. Honesty is a test of faith. My beloved brothers and sisters, honesty is not just about words that leave our lips. It is a reflection of the state of our hearts. Allah has described the believers as those who uphold truth, even if it goes against themselves, their parents, or their loved ones. This shows us that honesty is heavy. It requires courage, and it demands sacrifice. When you speak the truth in a world that celebrates falsehood, you are immediately tested. People may turn against you, opportunities may slip away, and comfort may be lost. But remember, Allah is elevating you through that struggle. The Prophet said, truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. Yet, to walk upon this path of truth is not easy. Think of a student who refuses to cheat in an exam while others around him take the shortcut. For a moment he feels left behind, but in the long run his integrity brings him honor, while deceit brings shame. In the same way, a believer's test lies in holding firmly to honesty when it seems everyone else is benefiting from dishonesty. That struggle itself is proof of your faith. When we say we believe in Allah, it is not just a statement. Allah tells us in the Qur'an, do people think that they will be left alone because they say, we believe and will not be tested? 29.2. Honesty is one of those tests. A businessman who refuses to lie in his trade may lose a deal, but he gains the pleasure of Allah. A woman who speaks the truth, even if it costs her position, earns something greater, the nearness of her Lord. The weight you carry in honesty is not a punishment. It is a divine measurement of your sincerity. Many times in life you will notice that the dishonest seem to prosper. They may rise quickly in their careers, they may gather wealth, and they may enjoy temporary ease, but their peace is hollow. Inside, they are restless, always fearing exposure. In contrast, the honest believer may be mocked, sidelined, or burdened, but inside their heart rests the tranquility of knowing Allah is with them. The Prophet himself faced accusations, rejection, and hardship for his truthfulness, yet his legacy became eternal. It is natural to ask, why me? Why is my path harder when I am only being honest? But remember, my brothers and sisters, Allah tests you according to your faith. Just as a teacher gives the most difficult exams to the most capable students, Allah allows heavier burdens to fall upon the most truthful of hearts. He wants to polish you, to strengthen you, and to raise your rank. Without these trials, the diamond of your faith would remain hidden. With them, your brilliance begins to shine. So never despair when honesty brings hardship. Every time you choose truth over falsehood, you are planting a seed in your eternal garden. Every sacrifice you make for the sake of integrity is being written by angels. One day, when you stand before Allah, you will see how your tests were in reality gifts that elevated you far beyond those who compromised their faith for ease. Hold firm, for the path of honesty may be heavy now, but it leads straight to Jannah. And what greater reward could there be than that? 2. The Qur'an promises trials for the truthful. Allah reminds us in the Qur'an that faith is not a claim without weight. When we say, La ilaha illallah, there is none worthy of worship but Allah, those words carry responsibility. The Qur'an asks us, do people think that they will be left alone because they say we believe and will not be tested? 29.2. This verse alone explains why the truthful are tried. Their honesty is not overlooked by Allah. It is measured, tested, and purified through trials. When a person chooses truth over lies, Allah may place them in a situation where that truth costs them comfort. They may lose a job, a friendship, or an opportunity. But every loss in the path of honesty is recorded as a gain in the sight of Allah. The Qur'an emphasizes that such trials are not meant to break us, but to reveal our sincerity. Just as fire purifies gold, trials purify faith. The story of Prophet Ibrahim reflects this reality. When he stood with truth against his people, they threw him into the fire. Outwardly, it was the severest of trials, yet Allah made the fire cool and safe for him. This is the Qur'an's message. Truth will be tested, but Allah will never abandon those who hold firmly to it. The suffering of today becomes the miracle of tomorrow. Similarly, the people of the trench mentioned in Surah Al-Buruj were burned alive because they declared their faith in Allah. From a worldly view, they suffered immensely. Yet the Qur'an immortalizes their story, reminding us that their sacrifice elevated their rank in eternity. The Qur'an prepares us with these examples so we do not imagine that truth comes without a cost. Trials for the truthful may come in many forms. Some are mocked for wearing hijab, others are sidelined at work for refusing corruption, and some are isolated within their families for holding firm to Islamic principles. Yet every tear shed in those moments is seen by Allah. The Qur'an reminds us repeatedly that Allah is with the patient, and His nearness during trials is the greatest comfort a believer can experience. The Qur'an does not hide the reality of struggle. In fact, it highlights it. Allah says, "We will certainly test you with a touch of fear and famine and loss of property, life and crops. But give good news to the patient who, when afflicted with a calamity, say, 'Indeed, we belong to Allah, and indeed to Him we will return.'" 255 through 256. The Qur'an acknowledges pain, but also gives us the words of healing in the face of it. Every prophet faced trials for their truthfulness. Prophet Musa, AAS, stood before Pharaoh with honesty, yet he was mocked and threatened. Prophet Isa, AAS, was rejected by his people. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad was called a liar despite being known as Al-Amin, the most trustworthy. The Qur'an records these moments to reassure us that if the best of creation were tested, we too will be tested. But with every test, the Qur'an also offers reassurance. Allah says, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." 94:6. The trials are not permanent. They are seasons of growth. Just as winter gives way to spring, hardship gives way to relief. The believer who clings to honesty will always see the dawn after the darkness. This is Allah's promise, and His promise never fails. In our daily lives, these Quranic lessons appear in small ways. A student who refuses to copy answers may fail one exam but earns Allah's reward. A shopkeeper who avoids dishonesty may earn less profit one day but gains barakah in his livelihood. The Quran reminds us that real success is not measured by fleeting worldly numbers, but by eternal reward with Allah. What is amazing is how trials themselves become blessings. The Quran tells us Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. 2:286. This means that every trial you face for being truthful is already within your capacity to handle. Allah chose you specifically because He knew you could rise through it, and rising through it purifies your soul and raises your rank. The Quran also warns us not to envy those who gain through dishonesty. It says, "Do not let the disbelievers think that we delay their punishment for their own good. We only give them more time so that they may increase in sin. For them is a humiliating punishment." 3178. This verse reassures us that the apparent ease of liars is temporary. The truth will prevail and justice will be served by Allah. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, the Quran prepares us with wisdom. Trials are the price of truth. but they are also the proof of faith. If you are carrying the burden of honesty today, know that you are walking the path of the prophets. Your tears are seen, your patience is recorded, and your reward is being prepared. The Qur'an promises trials, but it also promises Jannah for those who remain steadfast. And what greater hope could we carry in our hearts than that? Third, prophets face the heaviest burdens. The Quran reminds us that the prophets, AS, were the most truthful, the most honest, and the most sincere of people. Yet they were also the most tested. The Prophet himself told us, the most severely tested of people are the prophets, then those nearest to them, then those nearest to them. This is a reminder that truth attracts trials, and those who carry the heaviest faith